very second book haul. And so, to get started, I just like to say, I live really close to Barnes & Noble here in LA, so I'm just like, I can just walk down, like, it's right across the street, so I just walk down the street, and I see Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, David, don't go in, you only buy more books. I'm like, stop. It's like, I can't resist. And so, I've bought a whole lot of books since the last book haul, but don't worry guys, I will get all these read for you guys. And it's not that hard to read. I mean, I just read like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, and boom, I'm like making progress. Warning, pre-warning. Contemporaries are coming soon, just not in this book haul, because me and contemporary books like, you know, Fault in Our Stars, all that kind of stuff, are just having this kind of feud right now. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know if they just don't click. I don't know. I mean, I go down to Barnes & Noble and I look through the contemporary section and it's like, whatever. Oh, and then I see, you know, a sci-fi, fantasy, like, action-packed book, and I'm like, yeah, testosterones. Ah. Alright, so, let's move on to the first book. Hey guys, okay, so, for the first book we've got, by Brandon Sanders, Shadows of Self, and this right here is the second book in the second Mistborn trilogy. And you guys are asking, where's the first book? Well, guess what? I tried ordering it through Barnes & Noble. I was like, because I saw this on the bookshelf. I'm like, oh yeah, his new book just came out. This book just came out, just to let you guys know. And I went up to the desk and like, I was like, can I get a hardback version? And they're like, well, there aren't any around this area. I will eventually get that book, hardback version, to start on this second trilogy when the third book comes out, which I don't know what that is, but because I like to read everything in like a, you know, a wholesome like structure, and if it just isn't like together, then I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I mean, because then you have to wait a whole nother year for the next book to come out, and you're just like, and then you forget about the story, and you have to reread the books, and it's a hassle, guys. So, I'm gonna wait for that, but I wanted to get it because I saw it, and I just wanted to let you guys know I'm gonna be reading the second trilogy. This trilogy set 300 years after the original Mistborn trilogy. I'm almost done with Hero of the Ages, by the way, and yeah, the book is really good right now. Oh, okay, on to the next book. Hey guys, okay, so now we've got Snowlike Ashes, and Snowlike Ashes is a fantasy, and you know what thing with all fantasy books is that they always have what? What did I say last book talk? Oh, maps. I said they always have maps. Shadows of Self did have a map, but I don't want to spoil anything by just showing the map, because I don't want to look at the map and then all of a sudden spoilers come in out of nowhere, because I'm almost done with Hero of Ages and I don't want to spoil anything. So it's like, don't look at the map, David, don't. So, this has a map, and this is like one of those epic fantasy journeys of epicness kind of thing. It's just like the kingdom of winter or something was like bamboozled, they were attacked, and so the refugees have been like camped out and they're like plotting to take it back, and then so it sets on this one chick, and her goal is to help the Winterians gain back their kingdom, because they're like in the mountains, they're ready to bamboozle and take back the kingdom that was stolen from them, because all the citizens are enslaved and all great whatnot. So the second book for this has already released, and I saw it in Barnes & Noble, but I wanted to make sure the book was like something I really enjoyed before I bought the second one. So I have Snowlike Ashes, and I believe this is a trilogy, and I really can't wait to get into it. For our next book, we've got Zero. So this has been very popular as of recently. I've seen it like every store, not even just like Barnes & Noble. I've just seen it on every shelf, like Target and Kmart. If it's Kmart, you gotta be Kmart smart to know where to have this book. Okay, I don't know why I just said there. But Zero, so this book really reminded me of The Darkest Minds, the setting, the scenario or whatever, because I've already read that trilogy, if you guys didn't know, but I don't, you know, I read it long back ago that I just didn't want to do like any book talk stuff about it, but it's right here. So here's The Darkest Minds, here is Zeros, and they're kind of similar, not by cover, but they sound very, very similar. So Zeros, it's basically like these teenagers, like 6 Californian teenagers, they all have like powers, but the powers have a price. So it's like, kind of like the laws of gravity, you know, if you push, there's going to be a pull, or if you pull, there's going to be a push, or all that kind of stuff. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So it's kind of like that. So it's powers have price, and these teenagers, they got to do stuff, and they get in an epic quest of awesomeness, and they end up, it's just like all that kind of stuff. So I can't wait to get right into this and tell you guys what I think about it. And for the next book, we've got another popular book as of recently that is by Jim Butcher. It's called the Aeronaut Windlass. So, guys, when I read the concept for this and I saw the book and I saw the little art and stuff, I just got so excited, I was just like, oh my gosh. And so Jim Butcher, he's a very popular artist, and so this is a new series. I believe this is going to be a really, really big series over time. And so basically, this series, it's like this steampunk vibe. I'm not exactly if it's steampunk, but this captain in his steamship that floats in the air gets damaged from, I believe, a job. I believe they're mercenaries. And so he goes to get another contract, and they offer to totally repair his ship, restore it to full glory or whatever. And so he's like, oh, I need that, because I believe the ships are very expensive to repair or something. And so these aristocratic people are hiring these types of people to do their bidding, and it's very political and very kind of thing. So he does it, and it's this very big task that's not easily pulled off, but he does, or he attempts to. But there's also some mysterious power that has long been silent for 10,000 years. Thus, the bigger plot over the course of the period takes place. So I'm very excited to get into this, and it says Aeronaut. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's really, I don't know if it's steampunk, I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's really cool. It's kind of like Bioshock, if any of you guys know what Bioshock is. It's really interesting, really cool. I can't wait to get into it. Guys, I've got another fantasy. I mean, I know previously I already said that I was going to do any contemporaries, but I've got so many fantasy books. I'm on this fantasy sci-fi high. I'm not trying to do a lot of that, but there's just, I've just got so much of it. Alright, so for this next book, we've got Legacy of Kings. So this is set in ancient Greece, but it's Alexander the Great when he was a kid, and it's eventually it's this epic long fantasy series that it's planned to be a long fantasy series, and it takes place when Alexander the Great's a kid, and there's some other characters, and so it's just the journey of that, but there's also, it's a lot more evolved with Greek mythology, or involved, not evolved. And so it's got, I believe there's a magic system and all that great stuff that involves Greek mythology. And it's supposed to be really, really interesting from what I have heard. But guess what, guys? You know what it also has? It has a map. Boom, I love maps. If you guys have not noticed by now. Hey guys, back, and we've got Alive, and Alive is this mix between Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent all mixed together. And so it's this book with, it's set on this main character, and she wakes up in a coffin, and she breaks out, and there's several other people in the room in this corridor, and they're they just woke up from coffins, and they only know their names. It's the Maze Runner beginning, but it's just weird. And then so they end up going out, and they find themselves in this long corridor type thing with bones and dust, and it turns out to be a prison. So it's this survival type thing with young adults and teenagers, and survival of the fittest, and brutal killings, and it's a trilogy. So this could be the next big trilogy, and so you gotta check it out. Oh, guys, I'm back, and guess what we've got? We've got the Time Salvager. So the Time Salvager really reminds me of this Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Total Recall. It's not exactly Total Recall. It's nothing close to the plot, but the world it's set in reminds me of that. So, well, ish, the vibe. So Earth is destroyed, it's wasteland, and so humanity has reached to the moon and Mars, and they're living on all these other planets and the spaceship stuff, but Earth is this poisonous stuff, and humanity is crumbling, I don't know how or why, but Earth is dying, and the other resources aren't doing so well. So what they have is these time jumper people who go back in time, get resources and or lost artifacts or treasures without altering timeline, come back, and then they come back and they're boom. But it's so much stress, and the people who time travel end up dying really quickly, so, and plus you have to be really skilled to do it. And so this guy, it's centered on this guy, he's trying to get into retirement, but he has to time travel one last time, and he goes back 1 century, and he ends up saving this chick who was about to die, and that is against the time traveling law. So they become fugitives, and they're on the run, but at the same time they're oh, there may be hope for Earth. And all that good stuff. So, if you guys are down for futuristic, sci-fi, time, spacey, whatever it is, check this book out. There's already a sequel planned, and I can't wait to get into this book. Wow! Okay, guys, for the next book, we've got Talon. And so Talon, I don't know. I really don't know much about this book, other than it's like people disguised as dragons within society. Because, like, these people in, like, the past started the St. George whatever, I don't know, they started hunting down dragons, killing them all, so dragons started, like, turning into humans so they could go incognito. And so they avoided, now they're trying to assimilate into society and ultimately attack them all. What? Well, actually, I don't know if about attacking them, but because St. George was still hunting them down, or St. George group, whatever, the Knights of St. George, I don't know what they're called, but they're still trying to hunt these dragons down, so the only way to avoid them is to assimilate into human society, and St. George people know about that, and so who knows what it's going to be like. It could be like this total dragon, like, massacre thing. It could be really cool. And it has this cool, like, it has a cool texture on the book cover, and so, you know, if it has cool texture, it's got to be good, right? Got it? Right? Please tell me I'm right. All right, book haul. Before I wrap this video up, I would just like to, we're gonna do some rad, okay, guys? We're gonna pick all these books up, and I'm gonna test my muscles to the test, and I'm gonna pick them all up because it's a lot of books, kind of like the last one. If you guys saw the thumbnail of the last one, I did it. But at the same time, I just didn't post it because it was so long already, and I was just like, whatever. So I'm going to do it right now. I think, can I get it all? Okay, so it's not as, I think the last one, I think this is about the same amount of books as last time, except for, or maybe not, because I believe the other one was like, whoa. So there's not as books as many as last time, but you know, it's all good. So, thank you guys for watching. Never forget that my social media links are down in the description below. Please follow me. I'm quite lonely, and I just post, so make sure to check that all out and get on that hizzle. Don't forget to smash and bamboozle that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.